Guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And guys, if it's Tuesday evening, that means only one thing. That means we're going to be conversing with the living legend himself, future Hall of Famer, Coach Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing, man. I'm doing.
I tell you what, it's been an interesting turn of events with your superstar, super middleweight, the current WBA regular champion, Dave Morrell Jr. And boy, you've had a hard time finding an opponent. Well, not really, but your former fighter, Sinig Beko, boy, he's been making a lot of noise, completely trashing the Nevada State Athletic Commission as well as PBC. So he's claiming that he was cleared by a physician, but for some reason, the Nevada State Athletic Commission would not let him compete. He's already gone through a grueling training camp, and he's been throwing daggers at everybody, saying that, well, they just wanted the easier opponent for Dave Morrell Jr. He doesn't want any of this smoke. Coach, with the understanding that you know everything about him, you're very familiar. Obviously, he's your former fighter. So what is going on here, Coach?
Man, it's crazy, right? Because I get a call from the promoters and say, hey, we got to find a new opponent, Zhilei Zhang. He failed his, either the MRI or the MRA. I don't know which one it was. I didn't go to specifics. They said, but we got a new opponent. So, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, who is it? Blah, blah, blah. Now they gave us a southpaw. Cena is a right-hander. So now I got to train David.
Yep.
I only have like maybe 10 days now to train him to fight a southpaw.
Yep.
Okay, no problem, David's a southpaw himself. So he said, hey, I got no problems fighting southpaw. No problem. But then all of a sudden now it comes out that, for what they tell me that Cena, he failed the MRI, whatever it was. But then, a couple of days later, I get a call from Cena. He actually called me. And I said,
wow.
What's up, man?
Like you had anything to do with it.
Yeah. I said, what's up? He said, man, they're saying something is wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. But I went to see a man who got 35 years of experience in this and blah, 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 blah. I said, man, look, it's up to the Nevada State Athletic Commission and Showtime. But everybody already put this stuff out before I even knew about it, blah, blah, blah. See, but here's the thing, what he don't understand, okay? What he don't understand is that when the Nevada State or any athletic commission, not just Nevada, when you go to wherever you live, you go and you take your medical. They send the medical to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They have a team of doctors who look at everything, right? And they said that, something was wrong with his thing. So what they have to do is call the promoter right away, because look, this is a huge event. This is not just a regular fight.
Yep.
This is a huge event. And this is the co-main event we're talking about. We're not just talking about, an opening 4-round, 6-round fight. No, this is the co-main event to a huge pay-per-view card. So now...
And for a title.
Yes, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission have to call a promoter first to say, we're not going to issue this guy a license because of the failed test. So what they have to do is, what the promoter have to do is find a new opponent. And they have to find someone that Showtime is going to be good with and who they have to accept. You can't just put on anybody.
That's right.
And say, here's just who we're going to fight. No, Showtime has to approve, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They got to approve the guy also. Okay? So it's levels to this thing that has to be done, and it got to be done right away, because now we are 10 days out from the fight, right? So
Well, less than that now.
You know,
Well, at the time, yeah, 10 days out.
at the time, 10, 11 days out. You know, and so now what happens is, it got to get out. It got to get out because now, he's no longer a part of the card because the Nevada State Athletic Commission doctors said something was wrong with his test. It's not
That's right. Yeah.
They're saying something is wrong with his test. It's the Nevada State. But the way he put it in his Instagram was that we found out that he was looking really good in camp, and we
good Lord.
that we didn't want that. Now look, I've been in this business all my life, and I tell you this, I wouldn't give a fuck what he looking like in camp. Okay, I don't give a damn what he looking like in camp. That ain't got nothing to do with you fighting my guy. I don't care what you look like in camp, but to insinuate that our camp found out he was looking good in camp, so we convinced the Nevada State Athletic Commission to find something faulty with his test. Now, what kind of bullshit is that? I've never heard of something like that before in my life.
Oh,
we had something to do with them saying he failed a test. Now, why would we want to do something like that? You know? I mean, he has to be ashamed of himself. And this guy, man, let me tell you something. This guy used to be one of the nicest guys you could ever meet, right? And I haven't seen him in a long time. I think he lives in Nashville. I'm not sure. I don't know where he lives at. But wherever, right? Now it makes me think something is wrong with his damn head. Because all that bullshit he's putting out right now, right? Something is wrong with that head. Because the bullshit that he's putting out right now just don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, Coach, this is
not. Well, hold on. Let me say this. Now, how can we find out how he's training and he's looking good? How can we know that? We don't have nobody in his camp. Nobody there. That's what I'm saying. Something is wrong with his damn head.
Well, Coach, and once again, I truly believe, and we're going to touch on this. This is going to be a common thread, a minor common thread going through this. It's the hanger-ons. And this is one thing I've never been able to stand about the boxing business or about the music business. The clingers, the hanger-ons, the groupies that consistently fill a fighter or a musician's head full of a bunch of nonsense. Guys who don't understand the business and who consistently thinks that there's a ruse. I hate that part of the business. And there's no doubt in my mind that someone in his camp has concocted this absurd conspiracy theory, okay, and filled his head full of a bunch of nonsense. Like there's this grand scheme to keep him away from achieving that brass ring. Ching out, brother. And once again, we're going to touch on this because, this this is just a whole lot of nonsense. So let's look at your new opponent, Yamaguchi Falciao from Brazil. And once again, he's got a little brother who's a current middleweight, Esquivel Falciao, who's highly ranked as a middleweight, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a mandatory for the IBF, I think, something like that.
But actually, it's one of those that is.
Yeah, and so Yamaguchi, now one thing I've noticed about him, he is unlike most southpaws where he grew up sparring and working out with his brother. So he's one of those unique southpaws that actually moves to his left.
Yeah.
Most southpaws, because they've grown accustomed to sparring orthodox fighters almost solely, they traditionally move to their right.
Right.
But this guy moves to his left. He's a guy who lunges in, right? Trying to throw a lunge in with. So in my opinion, Coach, this kid, he doesn't know what he's in for. Yamaguchi Falciao. And dare I say, and dare I ask, well, he's going to get the brunt of it. he's going to feel the full frustration of Camp and Team Durrell or Morrell Jr., and he's going to get it with both barrels. And I feel bad for the kid going into this fight. He's very awkward, but yeah, he has no idea what's in for him Saturday, April 22nd.
But look, here's another thing, though. Understand something. Cena Ebeko said that this guy is a lesser opponent. Now, hold on. Let's check the resume. Let's look at the resume first. All right. Now, Yamaguchi was a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Okay. That's
right. He's a bronze medalist in the Olympics. That's right.
Number 2, he's ranked number 6 in the world by the WBA and WBC. Okay.
That's right.
So how is he a lesser opponent than Cena? Cena is ranked in WBA number 9. This guy's ranked higher than him. So how can he open his mouth and say they're going with a lesser opponent? And this guy's credentials he can't touch this guy's credentials.
Oh, geez. Coach, you can't make this stuff up. Then once again, guys, this is what I've never been able to stand this about the boxing business or the music business, are the hanger-ons, the clingers, the fanboys who are going to whisper bullshit into a fighter or a musician's ear and fill their head full of a bunch of nonsense. Right? That's it. That's it. And once again, congratulations, though, getting this big assignment. I understand you fly out tomorrow. I also understand you've got another blossoming star on the prelims. And he's going to fight right before Vito Mielnicki and Jose Charles. And that's your man, Floyd Schofield Jr. And he's taken on tough, rugged Mexican fighter, Jesus Valentin Leon. How's Floyd Schofield looking in camp, sir?
Well, actually, Florida's in camp in San Antonio. He couldn't make it here. So, no, but, Floyd Schofield's a good fighter, man. And he, when we took this opponent, we went over it. I went over it with his dad and with his lawyer, manager, Michael Miller. And, and I told him, I said, look, man, this is the perfect opponent for him. Guy has a great record. He's a really good fighter. But Floyd, I feel, is too fast and too strong for this kid. So, you can't take anybody lightly. You have to put in the work, and that's what he's done. And, he's ready to go.
And there it is, guys. We look forward to seeing the entire prelim, the entire card. And guys, we urge all of you to purchase this pay-per-view for the bargain basement price of 85 Rock. How do you like that? Guys, and once again, how are the guys looking right now who are insisting that this was not indeed a super fight because there wasn't a mere title up for grabs in the main event? How are they looking now? Did you see the grand arrivals today? They just finished. Did you see all the media outlets, the mainstream media outlets that were on display there to cover Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis?
Right.
Yeah, they're not looking too sharp right now. Guys, all I can say is quit being part of the problem and enjoy what this version of boxing has to offer. This is going to be a tremendous event, big-time event in Las Vegas, Nevada. And have you seen the ticket prices, Coach? For the VIP boxes in third-party ticket outlets, it's as high as $55,000 per ticket. Yeah. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So much for not being a super fight. And there it is. So, guys, before we actually move on to Fact or Fiction, let's say hello to our very dear friends in the chat. Let's say hello to our brother, Jesus M. Saludos to you, brother. Thank you for always being here and supporting the coach every Tuesday night. Also want to give a shout out to my brother, G Funky Boxing. Greetings, Big Joe and Coach Ronnie. Greetings to you, my friend. And in case you missed G Funky's contribution to our podcast last night, it's still available. Go check it out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun last night. Please go subscribe to my brother G Funky. Thank you for always being here for the coach, my friend. Also, want to give a shout out to my brother Andrew Charles. What's up, fellas? What's up with you, brother? Thank you for being here and support the coach. Also, want to give a shout out to my brother Ryan of Boxing Gems Film Study. Guys, one of the best, if not the best channel on YouTube devoted to boxing. It's great, guys. If you want to learn more, go hit up my brother, Boxing Gems. Yeah, he does great work. Joseph, what up? What up, Coach? What up to you, my friend? And thank you for being here and supporting the coach, brother. It means a lot to us. Also want to give a shout out to my brother, Sid UK, of the always insightful Sid UK. Thank you for being here and supporting the coach, sir. He says, I see the coach is already speaking French tonight. Drink some tea, coach. Some of these fighters are script writers when it comes to dodging a good beating by your brand of fighters. Yep, I would agree with that. And I love this one. I'm going to go. Sid UK says this also. Oh, it's the Illuminati, I tell you. Them and Al Heyman is clearly holding this guy back. Oh, Ching got there. Thank you for being here for the coach, Sid. And we want to give a shout out to my brother, Peter Von Arx, who was also on the podcast last night. Thank you for joining me, Peter. Always great to speak with you, brother. He says, greeting, Joseph and Coach Shields. Greetings to you, brother. And thank you for always being here for the coach. Jesus M says, Paul Xiao has a low resume. Are you looking at his professional resume because you've never heard of these fighters? Or are you looking at his entire amateur boxing resume? He's a bronze medalist at the Olympics. Not too shabby. Not too shabby in my book. Boxing Gem says this. Coach, I just want an opponent for Osvari that won't play rope-a-dope like some of the rest of Morrell's past opponents. Definitely want to see all the wrinkles you've been working on. Morrell has the talent. Coach, I think that is one of the frustrating things about David, and no fault to him or yourself. He's that special, isn't he? After 8 professional fights, this kid is already a minor title holder. You know what? Taking care of all of Canelo Alvarez's mandatory challenges through no fault of his own. So if you don't like his resume or who he's been competing, well, take it up with Gilberto Mendoza. Because, Coach, am I wrong? He's already faced 3 mandatory challengers for Canelo Alvarez. Basically become a hitman for Alvarez in the super middleweight division.
And he won't give him a shot at the real titles, at the 4 titles. So go figure.
And there it is. And there it is. Through no fault of his own, thank you for being here at Gems. And if you have any more questions or comments for the coach, please let him fire. You're always insightful, brother. My brother, Antonio Luna, welcome to the podcast once again, sir. Love you, my friend. He says, Benavidez, Fears, Morrell. Look, I don't know about Fear, but I know Brother Sampson, his promoter and advisor. Well, yeah, he's not really champing at the bit to take on a real stud like Dave Morrell Jr. Osvari is a problem for anyone at 68. And everyone knows it. Everyone knows it, right? Am I wrong about that, Coach?
No, you're definitely right about it.
They're going to see it. Go ahead, sir.
No, I mean, look, I don't in boxing, nobody fears nobody in this sport. You know, it's crazy when people say, oh, this guy's scared of this. No, it's not. You know, sometimes you can't make deals on the business end side of it. And, you know, guys want to get paid. You know, they want to get paid. If it's a big fight, sure you want to get paid. But, you know, it's a lot of politics that go into the sport that people, outsiders, don't understand it. And, you know, some fights are hard to make, some fights are not hard to make. But still, you know, sometimes they offer little or nothing to these fighters. And, you know, there's worth way much more to these guys than what's offered to them. So, again, people forget this is a business. This is not just a amateur fight. It counts. These guys got families to feed. You know, they want to be able to take care of their families. But, you know, you got to offer them what they deserve.
Yeah, and you know what, Coach? More often than not, when it's an opportunity like this, the promoter or the network will tell you or tell your camp, the manager, the promoter, the whoever is the representative of the team, oh, this is a great opportunity. You want to take this. This is worth a lot more than money. How many times have you ever heard that, Coach?
Oh, too many damn times. Too many times.
Chingao. So once again, guys, that's what we're looking at. But guys, we have almost solely an entire Factor Fiction devoted to this super fight, well, with a couple of added wrinkles. And once again, I have a feeling we're going to revisit Osvari, Dmitry Jr. later on in Factor Fiction. But are you ready, Coach? Let's keep this train rolling. 20 minutes in. Are you ready for the first Factor Fiction? Here we go. Number one, Coach. The Instagram bet between Ryan and Tank for the entire purse will not happen due to the fact that Davis thought Garcia meant the purse that he wears when he goes shopping. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say the fact. Listen. And the reason I say this is a fact, right? You know, these guys' purchases haven't been divulged. So, but here's the thing, right? A fighter has to be crazy to bet his whole purse on anything, because you got families to feed, you got bills to pay, and
so many people you're responsible for, Coach.
So many, and look, if I had a fighter that tell me he's putting his whole purse up, you're not putting my percentage up. That's the first thing coming out of my mouth. You're not putting my percentage up. You could put your percentage up, but you're not putting mine up. So, and I think, these other trainers would sort of say the same thing. You're not betting my portion. You could bet your portion all you want to. Look, so many people gamble and lose everything. I'm talking in the casinos and stuff like that. Why
look, fighters are infamous for that, Coach.
Yes, absolutely. And I know a bunch of them that has got going broke because of gambling. So, but this is too big of a fight, too big of a gamble. And I think that if these guys got managers or people that really care about them, they would tell them, look, man, sit your ass down, fight, win the fight, and don't worry about what this guy has, worry about what you have, and keep what you have, because, that's a sensible thing to do.
You know what? One thing I will say, and this goes largely unmentioned, is that Al Heyman will never, ever, you'll never hear this from Al Heyman, encouraging any of his fighters to bet or gamble while they're at the casino. You'll never hear it. Like Bob Arum, and once again, I know this, and from several fighters who are going to remain nameless, as well as Don King, they used to encourage fighters to gamble. Hey, live it up. This is your moment. Live like a king. Go ahead. You need to borrow some more money for the tables? Sure, no problem. They want to keep you hungry and destitute so that you fight more often for them, lining their pockets all the while. Okay, that's famous throughout boxing. Once again, guys, you're never going to hear that from Al Heyman. Say what you want about him, but he will never encourage that kind of behavior from any of his fighters. No, once again, though, to be fair, that never keeps them from doing what they're going to do, does it, Coach?
Absolutely.
Guys, I know fighters who will blow their entire check and have to borrow money from their advisor and promoter that same weekend, just immediately after getting paid.
Absolutely.
That's one of the drawbacks, of having big fights at these big casinos during big fight weekend. But hey, and such is boxing, right? But I will say this though. Did you see that exchange between Ryan and Tank on Instagram, where Tank has this, once again, hanger on, this clinger, this annoying, loud, abrasive guy doing all the talking for Tank, egging him on to bet his entire purse. And I'm like, dude, sit your ass down. Who the hell are you? Did you see that? Did you happen to see any of that stuff?
I didn't see it.
It was
I was getting busy
nonsense.
doing other things, but no, I didn't
Well, of
see it.
course, sir. Well, look, and I will say this once again, and this is a story where the fighters are going to remain nameless, but Emmanuel Stewart, this is how bad it is, guys, if you don't already know. Emmanuel Stewart once told me he had a superstar, right? And he was the head trainer, and you know this story, Coach, and it's going to remain nameless, a superstar in a rematch in which he had lost the fight before. But Emmanuel worked his ass off in the gym. They came up with a great plan, and they won the rematch, got all of his titles back. And when it came to the end of the night, Emmanuel got his check, and he said, whoa, wait a minute. This is not what we agreed on. One of his clingers, his fanboys, and I'm talking about this fighter, one of this fighter's clingers, one of these fanboys, one of these hanger-ons, got in Emmanuel's face and said, anyone can carry a towel for the champ. And Emmanuel just looked at him and said, all right, we're done here. Let me just get my shit and get out of here. And he never worked with that fighter again.
Right.
True story. That's what a huge problem this is, right?
Yep.
How do you deal with that, Coach?
You know, it's hard on one hand to deal with it because the fighter, you know, he has to deal with it. You know, if he has somebody like that in his corner and with him all the time in his ear, you know, these guys, you know, they get to these fighters and they make these fighters think that they own the world, you know, and this is crazy because it happens all the time. I see it all the time. I've seen things like what you're talking about right now, you know, and I got an idea who it is, who it was that,
Yep.
you know, yeah, but yeah, I've seen it before, plenty of times, man, and it's a shame that it happens, and you know, and things that I've seen before that, you know, I'm not gonna name no names, but when these guys go broke,
Where are they? Where are
you know
they?
where they come back to, you know, you gotta help me, you know, I need this, I need that, you know, there's always, you gotta help me, you know, and these trainers, promoters, managers look at them and say, no, go get your homeboy, you know, to help you.
That's what I'm saying. Watching that video, this jackass is running around grabbing his door saying, we're going to get paid. We're going to get paid. I'm like, sit your ass down. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you, brother?
Yeah.
Ching Gao. I can't stand it, Coach. And let me tell you, Tank would be wise to listen to his trainer and eliminate all of those hanger-ons from this point forward. They're nothing but a mess. And they're nothing but, they do nothing but fill your fighter's head full of a bunch of nonsense. I remember specifically, you remember when James Kirkland fought Canelo Alvarez at Minute Maid Park?
Of course.
Yeah, my brother Rick Morones was a head trainer. I don't know how he got that job. Nonetheless, he got it. And I was like, you know what? This boy about to get screwed when he gets KTFO'd by Canelo Alvarez, right? Once again, most people don't realize James Kirkland broke his hand in camp, his right hand. How are you going to beat Canelo Alvarez with a broken right hand?
You're not.
You're not, especially with the chin of James Kirkland. So anyway, it ended in round 3, and I worked a deal out with Don Chargan, and he made sure that Rick got paid. And sure enough, they wanted to screw Rick out of his 10%. Yeah. And so, guys, if you know a fighter, once again, advise him to steer clear of these idiots that try to tag along like cockroaches. I can't stand them. It's one of the many problems within the business of boxing, and that's going to just about do it for number 1. But Coach, yeah, I can't stand when fighters actually try to be big man online on social media and try to bet their entire purse. Do you think Joe? What do you think Joe Goosen said to Ryan after that?
Well, I mean, Joe should have just looked at him and said, "You must have lost your damn mind to do that." I mean, it's crazy.
Brother.
Look,
Yep.
it's not, and if you don't bet, right? If you don't bet, oh, he's scared. No, I'm not scared. I'm smarter than you because I'm not losing my purse. I'm not gambling my purse. I work too hard to make this. I got a family to take care of. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy?
Yep.
That ain't got nothing to do with being scared.
Oh, geez. Well, I want to welcome our brother Hy-Vee to the show. He says, I guess this is why Crawford leaves Vegas the day after his fights. Oh, I tell you what, Crawford, maybe not the wisest in terms of the business of boxing due to ignorance, right? But I will say this, boy, he is very intelligent and frugal with his money. You have to commend him for that. He's not going to go broke. He's going to be one of the fighters that never runs a risk of going broke. I'll just tell you that. Hats off to, and thank you for supporting the coach this fine Tuesday, Hy-Vee. Sid UK says, them hanger-ons, they're worse than gold diggers unless, well, you're into dudes. Chingao, brother. Let's move on, coach. Number 2. According to BetMGM out of Vegas, Tank is currently listed as the slight betting favorite at a minus 250. It's shrinking now, coach. While Garcia is cited as a live betting underdog at a plus 220. Coach, fact or fiction, this is an accurate depiction of how competitive this matchup truly is. Fact or fiction?
Fact. That's definitely a fact. Look, when you're looking at odds, right? For me, this fight, it's hard to pick who's gonna, who's the lead going into the fight. I mean, it's such a, to me, it's such a 50-50 fight because I look at Ryan and I see some faults that he has. I look at Tank and I see some faults that he has, But look, when you're training, you train to not make mistakes, and you train to capitalize on the other guy's mistakes. You gotta force a guy into making mistakes sometimes, and and doing training, you have to do what you do best, and make the other guy follow your game plan. So that's what So it could be tit for tat going in there. I see the first round being like a chess match. I don't think either guy is going to run out there and just start throwing punches. I don't see it that way. Could it happen? Yes, of course it could. I don't think Tank would do it. Ryan, maybe. He maybe do it to try to get that left hook in early. But remember, Ryan got 2 hands. Ryan can punch with the right hand too, not just the left hand. And that's what they have to look at. You can't just look at one shot. You got to look at the other hand too. That if he was smart, he'd decoy the left hand all day just to land the right hand.
Well, I will say this, coach. I will say this. What are your thoughts? And I'm going to ask you this. What are your thoughts on the wild card here, Coach Joe Goosen? Is this been enough time working with Ryan Garcia? This is his 3rd consecutive camp now. Do you think that's enough to actually, repair all of the, bad habits that Ryan accumulated while knocking everyone out in the 1st or 2nd round in the 4, 6, and 8 round stages?
Well, I think the fighter has to grow into the trainer. And 3 fights, yeah, that's definitely enough time to, because I don't know what Ryan does good or what Ryan does bad, but that's enough for a trainer. That's enough time for a trainer to have to be able to correct things that he feel should be corrected. But you got to understand too, Not all of Ryan's
Mm-hmm.
fights, even with Joe, has been a tank. So
Mm-hmm.
does Joe know how he's going to react when if he gets in trouble or if he
Mm-hmm.
gets hit with a certain punch? You know, you know, can Joe correct him? Is the strategy that they have, is that going to be enough for Ryan to, you know, get it and say, and when he come back to the corner, for Joe to tell him, look, Ryan, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. That's going to be the thing. Sometimes, it goes great in camp, but then you get in the fight, you know, it don't go that way. So you got to get your guy to have confidence in what you have him working on in the gym to continue to do that, because if he don't, then that means he's going to revert back to what he knew from the very beginning before he got to you. And that could spell trouble.
Mm. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. But once again, the odds have tightened. And once again, it's going to move with the bettors, the gamblers, and how the money is moving, how it's being placed. And so right now, Tank Davis is listed as a slight betting favorite, minus 250, with Ryan Garcia now a very live betting underdog at plus 250. We'll see if it plays out that way. But I tell you what, if you're looking at sexy bets, I do have to say this. Once again, guys, this disclaimer, if you sweat it, don't bet it. If you don't have money to burn, don't even think about betting, guys. I don't care how much you're feeling Ryan Garcia fever. Don't do it. But I will say this, my sexy bet, if you look at the round group betting, according to the BetMGM, I like Tank Davis, TKO or KO between rounds 9 and 12 at a plus 600. Guys, forgive me for saying this as well. I also like, forgive me for saying this, coach, the draw bet at a plus 1600. Forgive me for even mentioning that, but those are the two that I like. I like a straight up Ryan Garcia decision victory. I like also the draw at a plus 1600, and I like hedged with a Tank Davis KO or TKO between rounds 9 and 12 at a plus 600. Guys, that's from your very dear friends at Warwick Radio. That's what I like. But want to give a shout out to our brother Wakur Weavenson. Thank you for being here and supporting the coach. And he says, is Ryan Garcia going to give us? You want to save that prediction for the end, coach?
Yeah, we can say that for the end.
Yeah, we'll save for the end, guys. Got to stick around for a coach's official prediction on this fight. G Funky also says, I feel like Ryan is starting to settle in with Coach Joe. I noticed some things in the Fortuna fight. Yeah, he's well, we'll go into that later on in the week, the closer it gets to the fight. And as we see, and once again, I'm not going to make my official prediction until I see how both fighters look at the official weigh-in on Friday. That's always a very wise practice. Number 3, coach, let's move on. The winner of Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia on Saturday night will face soon-to-be free agent later this year. Fact or fiction?
Your mic kind of messed up out of here tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do that again. The winner of Davis versus Garcia on Saturday night will face soon-to-be free agent Devin Haney later this year. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction. And the reason I'm going to say fiction is because I think Devin may take some time to figure out what he really want to do. If you want to go with a promoter, or do like Tank is doing right now, stay independent. I mean, it's upside and downside to that decision. So, you know, it just, because if you have a promoter, you know, it's, it's going to hit you in the pocket a little bit. But if you go without one, then, you're gaining everything and you're not losing much, you're paying out. So, but we'll see what kind of businessman there is, and, again, a lot of people still forgetting that this is a business, and fighters nowadays are still trying to take control of everything on their own side.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and and when you're doing business, that makes business sense. But still you have to hire somebody that knows the business, and you're paying out money, but you're not giving up as much as you would if you was assigned to a promoter. So we'll see what he does.
Well, look, all I can say is this for Devin Haney. He sees all the noise that's being created by this event, and he sees the lack of it for Undisputed at 35 with his fight in Lomachenko currently. And I'll say this, payday. He wants payday. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on to number 4, Coach. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
The 136-pound catch weight and rehydration clause will prove to be a massive detriment for Ryan Garcia this Saturday night. Fact or fiction, sir?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like, here's what they haven't said yet. Okay. When does Ryan have to reweigh?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. Now, if it's when he have to report to the arena, the night of the fight.
That's not good, Coach. That's not good.
Trust me, that's not good. Or
you've been through that, haven't you, Coach?
You already know I
have. So how do you deal with that, sir?
See, here's the thing. You got to understand, back in the day when I was fighting, right? We weighed in the day of the fight.
That's right, same day weigh-ins.
So you couldn't go out and gain 30 pounds. You didn't have enough time to do it. Because if you go in at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the fight starts at 7 o'clock, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
As far as putting weight back on. So it was very different for us back then than it is now. And they did that because of health reasons. So how healthy is this going to be for Ryan? If he have to weigh 146 and gain only 10 pounds the night of the fight. So, I'm sure they have a time that he has to be 146. I just don't know what that is.
Well, let's hope that it's fair and it's less than, say, 15 hours, right? Yeah, that would be fair. Maybe 9 in the morning the next day. Right. That would be fair, right? We'll see. Hold on. Sid UK says this. British eggs would help with rehydration in small windows of time. And obviously he's referring to Connor Ben, who was just, he was just restricted by UCAD and the BBBFC. And he doesn't care. He's getting rewarded with a big payday in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's not against Manny Pacquiao. I'm fearing that it actually is.
Me too.
We'll see what happens, guys. We'll keep you updated. Number 5, let's shift gears and let's get away from Tank versus Ryan momentarily. Dmitry Bivol's team will eventually price themselves out of every major proposed matchup for 2023 due to an inflated sense of worth. Fact or fiction, Ronnie?
I say fiction. I don't think so. But I know they're having a problem because he wants to fight Canelo at 168 pounds, but Canelo want to keep it at 175 because Canelo don't want to take a risk of losing his, undisputed titles, and it's crazy. You got the light heavyweight champion wants to come down to fight you, but you don't
Yep.
want him to come down to fight you for your belts. That is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Well, I will say this, Coach, and once again, after an inflated purse that doesn't reflect his accurate market value against Canelo Alvarez, he
Right.
got his biggest monetary payday on that fight, and then he gets another inflated payday against Zurdo Ramirez in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So now he feels out offers, right? And this is, once again, he and his manager, Vadim Kornilov, he feels out offers from Arthur Beterbiev to fight this summer. Oh, it wasn't a serious offer. Okay. He feels out another offer from Golden Boy, Jaime Munguia. No, it wasn't a serious offer.
Right.
Feels out an offer from Callum Smith. No, it wasn't a serious offer. Well, what the hell is a serious offer in your mind, brother? Once again, we're seeing this with Alexander Usyk. Guys who couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night are now expecting monumental paydays. Brother, even though you beat Canelo, what did you really win? Are you still a marquee draw? Are you now a marquee draw? Are you a ticket seller now all of a sudden? Are you a legitimate attraction in boxing? You know what? And once again, I have to retract this because I went on Webb's channel, Boxing Gems, right? His channel on Friday, talking all defending. Oh, you know what? They care about legacy. That bullshit. It turns out that these Russians aren't any better than the American fighters that they often criticize after they start making some real money.
Yep.
They're no better. Oh, we care about legacy and we care about doing what's best for the sport. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, go sell that brand of bullshit to someone else who's buying. Ronnie, do you have anything to add about that, or are you going to plead the fifth, brother?
No, you said it all, man.
And there it is, guys. I'm sick of it. And once again, I feel foolish for defending that brand of rubbish. Chinga, no better than the American fighters that they criticize frequently. You can stick it, brother, and sit on the sideline if you think, oh, it's not the serious offer. Go screw yourself. There's another hungry young fighter waiting to fill your void if you think it's not a serious offer.
Always.
Stick it, brother. Okay, so moving on, Coach. Number 6. Joe Joyce will invoke his rematch clause to face Zhilei Zhang once again this summer. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. Man.
Mm.
But was I ever wrong about that fight?
Oh, boy. Well, you were and you weren't. Now, you weren't surprised because you've seen Zhilei Zhang up close and personally. You knew what he was capable of for the first 3-4 rounds. Unfortunately, Joe Joyce and Ismail Salas really didn't. But yeah, you did pick Joe Joyce like most people did. Coach, were you surprised when you found out the outcome, and have you seen the fight since?
No, I've seen the fight. Actually, I watched the fight. I watched the fight on YouTube, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it as it was going on, actually. You know, they put it really tiny, but I was able to see it. But here's the thing, right? I didn't realize how slow Joe Joyce is.
Oh boy.
God.
Molasses, Coach.
Yes.
Molasses.
Man, I couldn't believe it. But he kept getting hit with the left hand. He couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zhilei Zhang could have closed his eyes and hit him. He probably did a couple times. I mean, Joe Joyce was just so slow, man. I couldn't believe it. And it's like, you know, he couldn't get punches off. I think like in the 3rd round, you know, he started letting his hands go, but he wasn't hitting him, you know, but he kept getting countered with that left hand like crazy. And I'm like, whoa. And then when the eyes swelled up, I said, that's it. And Zhang just kept throwing that left hand at him because he couldn't see it. He couldn't see it coming. And I'm like, man, you know, that was just crazy.
It
But
makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, Coach, why on earth, on some books, was he a minus 1100 going into that fight?
yeah, you know, I mean, I guess everybody just thought, hey, man, Joyce is strong. He can punch, and he's not afraid to throw punches. But man, the way they was coming out, I was like, man, I could have went to the store, got a sandwich, and come back and beat the hook back. Wow,
I love it.
that was
So,
crazy.
but Coach, what do you think of Howard Foster seeing that eye and electing to pull the trigger in the 6th round? Do you think it was merited, or should he have allowed it to continue, understanding what was at stake?
No, your life is not at stake. His life. I mean, I'm sorry, his life was at stake then.
There it
Because
is.
look, Zhang is a big puncher. This guy can punch with both hands, and if you were to start doubling up on the left hand, which he probably was going to sit down and do, he probably would have ripped his eye out. That's how bad it was. He couldn't see it. And he kept moving that way, and Joyce kept going the other way. And I couldn't
Yep.
understand it. Go back go to the eye that you can see with. Go to your right.
Yep.
See what's coming at you. But he kept going the other way, and he never saw the left hand coming. Look, the referee consulted with the doctor. The doctor covered his eye and said, "Can you see?" He said, "No." So he couldn't see it. So, they had no choice but to stop that fight. That was a great stoppage.
And there it is. And we want to welcome Low Clarity to the show. Thank you very much for visiting the coach, sir, and supporting my brother Ronnie Shields on this beautiful Tuesday. He says, Joe's attacks against Zhang in the open stance look awful. Followed up by, like he actually didn't know how to attack. Well, now, Coach, then we go back to fact or fiction, right?
Right.
Joe Joyce will invoke his immediate rematch clause to face Zhilei Zhang once again this summer. If you were Ismail Salas, would you recommend diving in to the big Chinese puncher once again?
No, absolutely not. His career would be over then if he was to do that again. Look, what part of you can't make him faster than he is already, which is slow as hell. And and you see everything coming from a mile away. I couldn't believe how slow he was.
Yeah.
And you see everything coming. Like he got a rematch clause, but he needs to say, y'all take that shit and stick it up your ass, because I'm not going back.
Oh, Chingao. Sid UK says, Joyce was slower than paint drying in the rain. Yes, he was. And my brother Peter may be onto something. He says, Coach, Zhang versus Fury in Beijing. Biggest fight in the history of boxing, possibly 1 billion Chinese with wallets.
Absolutely, man. That's the fight.
And now think about this, Coach. Think about this. At 5 a.m., now considering this is against Joe Joyce in Britain for the WBO interim title, right? This would be against arguably the biggest heavyweight draw in boxing currently. Can you imagine how big that fight would be in China?
Oh, my God. Absolutely, man.
1.4 billion is their entire population.
Yep. You know how huge that would be, man?
Sell it just for $5 a pay-per-view, right? That would be the biggest money-making pay-per-view. Floyd Mayweather would probably want to go compete in China after that.
Absolutely. No doubt.
I tell you what, I'd love to see it. And want to welcome our brother to the show, Sly Tendencies. Thank you for the $2 super chat, sir. He says, hey, Joe, Coach Ronnie, is David Morrell ready for action?
No doubt.
So what are his spirits now? Is he amped to the gills for this, let's just say, quote unquote, breakout performance on the biggest stage of boxing, sir?
Let me tell you about David Morrell, man. This kid, Nothing bothers him. This kid, he trains every day. He dances every day in the ring. He have fun. You know, he's a fun guy, man. But when it's time to work, he works. And when it's time for him to have a little fun, that's what he does. You know, this guy, he's ready for anything and everybody.
I'll tell you what, we can't wait to see it, Coach, against Yamaguchi Falcao. So Cena, sorry, brother. Better luck next time. Is that bad of me to say that, Coach? Is that bad of me to say, or does he deserve both barrels right now?
He deserves both barrels right now, and trust me, he's good. You probably won't say this guy. He probably can't get a fight on the moon right about now.
Oh, Jingao. Well, better luck next time, brother. And once again, Sly, and once again, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, excited to see Osvari. He's so much fun to watch, so much skill. I saw his interview calling out Dave Benavidez. Dude is a stud. And that's not exaggerating on any level, is it, Coach?
Not at all. Not at all.
Guys, just buckle up. It's going to happen this Saturday, and we can't wait. We're going to go into the undercard in just a little bit, Coach. We're already 60 minutes in, though, so let's keep this train rolling. And once again, thank you, Sly, for supporting the coach and for the super chat, my friend. Let's move forward. Number 7. We're going to talk about Osvaldo again. It says, David Benavidez will indeed take on Canelo Alvarez in September, and Osvaldo Morel Jr. will face Canelo's WBA mandatory challenger once again. Fact or fiction, Coach?
That's a fiction. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, sir.
No, I don't see Canelo fighting David Benavidez. I don't see it.
You know what, Coach? And that seems to be the modus operandi of everyone at PBC this time around. Hey, fool me once, right? Where they're not waiting on Canelo Alvarez any longer. In a brilliant interview with G Funky and Samson Lukowitz this past Friday, well, he stated as much, saying, hey, you know what? With or without Canelo, we have no confidence that he's going to pull the trigger on this fight. So we're going to move forward. We're not going to wait for him any longer. And we're going to take on the best available opponents. And he did mention Dave Morrell Jr. Is that fight a genuine possibility for later this year, sir?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
How do you feel about that, sir?
I love it.
Wow. You know what? The fans share your sentiment, brother. We love it as well. And once again, that seems to be the purpose of this, well, prime spot in the co-main event of this huge undertaking this Saturday, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
And there it is, guys. There it is, guys. They're putting themselves in position to build this huge fight. So Canelo, once again, say hi to Dmitry Bivol for us if he doesn't price himself out of that. Also, say hello to John Ryder, brother. Once again, this caravan is going to keep moving with or without you.
No doubt.
That's it. Sly Tendency says David is going to explode on this card. There'll be at least 500,000 buys, so he's got a big stage to perform on. Well, that number may be a little meager and very humble. We'll see what the coach thinks coming up in fact or fiction. Let's move this along, though, guys. We have 3 more to go. Okay. Let's see. Fact or fiction, coach? Another fight going on earlier in the day in the UK. Joe Cordina will lift the IBF super featherweight title from Shavkat Rakhimov this Saturday by way of KO. Fact, fiction, or push, coach?
I'm going to go with push.
No comment because I don't care.
None whatsoever.
I got bigger fish to fry. Once again, guys, that's going on during the day on DAZN. Gee, wow. Oh, no, not on DAZN. That's going to be on Sky Sports, right? Oh, I can't remember. nonetheless, that's how interested I am in that event. So there you have it. So let's move on, Coach. Push by Big Daddy. Here we go. Number 9, Davis versus Garcia on Showtime pay-per-view will prove to surpass 1.2 million purchases. Fact or fiction, Coach?
Man, I want to say a fact, but man, that's
Yeah.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. I like the 500,000 buys better, because I think that many people would definitely buy it. But when you're talking about the million mark, over a million mark, yeah, that's going to be tough.
Coach, it's like the biggest selling pay-per-view since HBO went out of the boxing business has been over 800,000 by both Wilder Fury in the rematch as well as Canelo versus Caleb Plant. But no one has really come close to the million purchase mark since Canelo versus Golovkin 2. This is what a huge problem piracy is at this time. Do
absolutely.
you think that there are enough casual and mainstream viewers that it could propel this past that million mark once again? Because that seems to be the key. Because let's just face it, diehard fight fans, well, yeah, most of them don't purchase it. Statistics have proven this, right?
Right.
So what do you think, and what is your exact number, Coach? Are you predicting a number, sir?
Well, I'm going to guess it. But here's the thing. I wish it'd do over a million, just for me being in the sport. I know, it would be well deserved if they could do that. But I'm going to say that it would do at least 500,000. I'm going to say 500,000.
Well, I tell you what, let's hope that it's a lot more, because once again, for the sake of Showtime Sports, PBC, boy, all of their eggs are in this basket. Yeah. Let's hope for a big, big number. And Low Clarity says, well, Boxing Jams gave us a pass on pirating this one. Brother, come on now. I know he didn't. I was there when he did. But purchase this fight, damn it. Come on.
Absolutely.
Look, start financially in the sport. Start financially supporting the product. Come on now. This is a huge event. And Joseph Brown, welcome to the show, sir. He says, salute Joseph and Coach Ronnie. Thank you for joining us, brother. Please disclose who you like being the victor in this Saturday night's main event. All right. Let's move on. Final factor fiction, Coach. Number 10, Tank versus Ryan will result in an inconsequential and anticlimactic 12-round split draw. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say it's a fact, because I think this is going to be a close fight. I really do.
Yep.
And I just, look, I just hope we get good judges that, just watch the fight and judge what you see. I think so many people are just tired of, if the guy's winning, he wins. Simple.
Yep.
Don't make it obvious that you're still in a fight from a guy, no matter who it is. Just judge it the way it's supposed to be judged. That's what they're there for. And if we all seeing the same thing, then that's the way it should be. Simple as that.
That's it. That's it. Well, I will say this, though, guys. The judges at ringside should be, and once again, they're going to be announced in a couple of days, but I think they're going to be Steve Weisfeld, Glenn Feldman, and Tim Cheatham. And do you have any idea who the referee is going to be, the third man in charge in the ring? And more than likely, it's going to be Jack Reese, correct?
Jack Reese sounds good, and he's a really good referee, so I hope it's Jack Reese.
Yep, more than likely, guys, it's going to be that tandem, right? That group of of judges and referee that's going to get the nod for this. And once again, they've earned this. They have a history of being the most competent as well as consistent on the big stage, right?
And that's what we need all the time.
And that's what we need for something like this. With that said, guys, I think both men are going to, I think we're going to see a very largely tactical showdown in which both men respect each other's power. Tank, ostensibly, historically, the slow starter. Ryan Garcia is going to rack up some rounds early in the fight. I think it's going to result in a draw. Keep in mind, guys, that's a reason why I love this bet. Plus 1,600, according to the BetMGM out of Vegas. Just put 100 down, guys, and you win 1,600 if it's a draw. I like the draw, guys. And there it is. Low Clarity says, not controversial, but I got Tank. I like my brother Sly's comments. He says, yo, you dudes will pay $8 for a latte and you're bitching about a pay-per-view price? Man, get a job or ask your mama. Hey, brother, you know what? That is the comment du jour. Thank you, Sly. I appreciate it, brother. Yes, and I second that sentiment. So does the coach, I'm sure. And my brother Joseph Brown, he says, Tank by 8-round KO. Boy, that'll be something. That'll be something. Yes. Want to welcome my brother Rider of the Storm. He says, Ryan will win the fight, but the decision will go to Tank in a robbery. Ooh. I can't see that, Coach. Can you?
I can't see it either.
Either way, it's not going to be. It's going to be competitive enough where you cannot throw the robbery label at it. Either way, that's what I believe. That's what I believe. Ryder says, "Oh, by the way, salute Joseph and Coach Shields." And there it is, Coach. We know you got some packing to do. You're going to be flying out tomorrow. So that's going to just about do it, guys. You survived, Coach. Fact or fiction once again. And also, before we leave, want to give a shout out to my brother Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute, Brother Joseph and Coach Shields. Salute to you, my friend. And if you haven't already, guys, please go subscribe to my brother Bruce. Always does great work, and he's a true boxing historian. Go check his channel out, guys. And want to welcome Modern King Boxing. Better late than never, right? He says, I can't pick outcomes. Seeing is believing. Guys, yes. Once again, also, you got to appreciate this, Coach. Also, my brother Adolfo Horta. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, salute. Salute to you, my friend. Adbeco. Boy, he's got hurt feelings. Well, he's got hurt something. Maybe the medulla as well, brother. Anyway, Coach, that's going to just about do it. Do you have any parting shots for all of your listening audience, including everyone who's waiting to see Dave Morrell Jr. perform this Saturday night in the co-main event?
Well, I'm telling everybody, please buy this fight. This is going to be a great fight, great card. And also, thanks everybody for listening to Wild Week Radio. And you can follow me as official Ronnie Shields on Instagram.
And there it is, guys. Coach Ronnie, thank you so much, brother, and best of luck to you and your men. Floyd Schofield, as well as Dave Morrell Jr., will all be dialed in, brother. We can't wait, and it can't come soon enough, guys. Saturday night, PBC, Showtime Sports, for the bargain basement price of $85 Rock. Come on now, guys. Come on. Come through and financially support your beloved boxing. Let's do this, right? Guys, on behalf of the incomparable Coach Ronnie Shields, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to War Week Radio. Have a great evening, everybody.